What's up, Brooklyn Squad? It's your girl Jay, and I'm back at it again with another video. So this was not supposed to be right now. Actually, I just found out about this and I had to switch the time up. So I do apologize, but I know you guys want to see what's going on, right? So the Madeline Soto's, there is a press conference right now, and we're going to get into it. We want to see what's going on with this case, right? I just found out about it. I was supposed to do something else at 2 o'clock, and I had to switch the time up because they are live as we speak. And I know you guys are really into this case, and I am too. Poor little Madeline.
Facebook Live audience.
Ugh.
In fact, let's just pop on really quickly and say hello to now Facebook Live. We're now live across all platforms. We're moments
And
away
we are
from
too. We are
a
live on both my
police
Facebooks.
update.
We are
Investigators holding
live
a 2 o'clock press
on
conference from the Kissimmee Police
YouTube.
Department with an update in the Madeline Soto investigation.
And
as a reminder,
we're about to go live on
no
TikTok.
charges have been filed specifically in the death of Madeline Soto, while they do have what they have described as the prime suspect in custody and being held in custody without bond, that being 37-year-old Stephen Stearns, that being Madeline Soto's mother's boyfriend. There has not been any charges
Hey, babe, how are you?
on Madeline Soto's
I'm
death.
sorry, but I had to
Change
switch the
today.
times
That,
up.
of course, is the question that people are
I
asking.
had no idea
When will
about
there
this
be
press
justice
conference.
for
It's
Madeline
just
Soto? So if you're just
now.
on the live stream, the press conference has not yet begun. The time is
I had to switch the
1:58.
cases with the
Press conference is
times
expected to
and
begin
do a
here
quick
in just a
thumbnail.
couple of minutes.
But we're here, okay? We're here. Let me just go live on TikTok real quick. Hey TikTok, we are live on my YouTube platform covering the Madeline Soto's case. They are having a live press conference as we speak. Yes, they're live right now, Katie. That's why I jumped on. We were supposed to do another case, and then I saw
Again, as
this.
a reminder to our audience, as we wait for the press conference to begin,
and I jumped
after
on
the
it.
press conference, we're going to break down what we have learned.
Thank you so much for being here.
You know, I got to give y'all the other stuff.
I'm the communications director for the city of Kissimmee.
So please hit that like button.
We'll be providing remarks.
We are live
about
on
the progress
TikTok,
of the
Facebook, both my
investigation.
Facebooks
After
and
that,
YouTube.
she will open the floor for questions. We are not doing one-on-one interviews after the press conference. If you have any questions that are not related to this case, please send an email to kpdpio@kissimmee.gov. At the end of the press conference, you will receive a package with information about the case in English and Spanish. Now, I would like to introduce Chief Betty Holland.
We'll break down what we have learned after the press conference concludes.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today and allowing us to provide an update on our investigation into Madeline Soto's disappearance and death. Madeline was reported missing on Monday, February 26, 2024, just one day after her 13th birthday. Since then, our investigation has been relentless, fueled by the unwavering commitment to uncover the truth. During our forensic investigation, we uncovered disturbing evidence, graphic images, and videos depicting crimes being committed. It was during this examination that we learned we needed to act swiftly to remove the suspect, Stefan Stearns, from our streets. Despite the arrest, our investigation into her disappearance remained ongoing. We understand the importance of thoroughly exploring every lead and piece of evidence. The Kissimmee Police Department, along with other law enforcement agencies in Central Florida, continue their search for Madeline for the next several days following her disappearance, and we turn to the public for help. During this time, our investigators combed through a significant number of tips, and on March 1st, we received information placing Stearns' vehicle in a rural area of St. Cloud, where ultimately Madeline's body was discovered. We are all deeply saddened by the outcome of Madeline's disappearance. The Kissimmee Police Department continues to piece together the timeline leading up to the events that occurred. I want to address some questions we are receiving from the media in everyone's effort to keep the community up to date on this tragedy. At this time, Stearns is facing a total of 60 charges related to our investigation. This includes sexual battery, lewd and lascivious molestation, and unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. These charges reflect the meticulous work of our law enforcement community. Our detectives also are working closely with the State's Attorney's Office for the 9th Judicial Circuit and the Medical Examiner's Office on the investigation. Death investigations are complex. Tasks like forensic analysis and thorough interviews are crucial and require careful attention. It is vital to address these misconceptions in the pursuit of justice while preserving the integrity to the case. During an investigation such as this one, we gather additional information from individuals close to the deceased. Each person interviewed is treated as involved until proven otherwise. This is a standard protocol to ensure all the facts are uncovered. During our investigation, we have interviewed many individuals. Each interview has been vital to our understanding of the case. We are reviewing all of the information we received and are following up on every lead. Attention to detail and the diligence are the most important aspects of this investigation. We are committed to transparency and will provide updates when possible. Madeline's story has touched the hearts of many. Rest assured, our department is diligently working on the investigation. And while we appreciate the public's interest, we must prioritize the integrity of the investigation. We appreciate your support and understanding as we gather the facts. We intend to release additional information in the future, providing more details that we do not compromise the ongoing investigation. We vow to do everything in our power to ensure Madeline's memory is honored with justice. Our detectives are dedicated to pursuing every lead, uncovering every fact, and holding those responsible accountable. Now I will open it up for any questions.
Chief, I have a question. We know that you're working behind the scenes during this investigation to make sure everything is in order, but what can you tell us new today that we don't already know?
I don't have anything new that you don't already know, other than our detectives are working tirelessly day in and day out to ensure, all the facts are uncovered in this investigation.
Chief Holland, is the mother a suspect or a person of interest in this investigation? And also with the videos that you uncovered, is there any evidence of the mother's involvement on any of these videos?
So everyone that was close to Madeline is considered suspect until we have proven otherwise.
I know that's right. So that's yes.
Know what actually happened to Madeline Soto?
Well, this is a very sensitive and
It's yes.
It's very intricate. We want to make sure that we uncover every single fact and all the evidence before, we don't want to put a timeline on it, basically, because the detectives are very meticulous in what they do. And we want to be sure that everything is uncovered that possibly can.
Chief, can you release any information about the manner in which Maddie died at this point?
No, ma'am. We are still waiting on the medical examiner's report.
Chief, do you believe Maddie was killed inside of the family's home or somewhere else?
We're still uncovering all of those details. I'm not going to speculate on that until we have the facts.
Chief, can you tell us if Stephen Stearns acted alone in all of this?
We're still uncovering all the evidence. I don't want to speculate whether he was or not. We will wait until the investigation, is completed to make that determination.
Has Stephen Stearns said he acted alone, or what has he said in interviews with you? Since we know he's in jail for these,
yes.
What has he told you about other people's involvement, if any?
He has invoked his right to a lawyer, so we have not spoke with him.
Is there any time that you can expect an update for us? The public is asking every single day, and we understand that you're working on the investigation, but we would like to give them something.
I don't want to rush my detectives. I think it's paramount that they take their time. And, Mr. Stearns is not going anywhere.
Okay.
He's in jail and he's going to be there for a while. So my detectives, I want them to be, just look at every single detail and make sure, but I don't want to give a timeline at this point.
You mentioned you're working closely with the medical examiner. What does that relationship kind of look like, and what information are they able to release to you before that exam is complete?
So not really. I wouldn't say that they've released an information. We depend on the medical examiner's report for our report. So we're going to have to wait until they release that report.
Y'all hear this TikTok? What y'all thinking about this?
No, it appears that this all was isolated to the home.
Chief, I'm still trying to get a sense of things. Do you still feel like you have more questions than answers at this point?
I think our questions are being answered slowly but surely. For the integrity of the investigation, we have to, keep things close until such time as we hold those accountable for her death.
Chief, do you feel like this is taking longer than it should because Stearns is not speaking?
No, I just think that, sometimes these investigations are just very lengthy. We know that he is in jail and he is not going anywhere. So the detectives are just making sure they cross the T's and dot their I's.
Right.
They want to put together, a foolproof investigation.
That's
The
right.
mother and the family members being cooperative.
I see you, Cody
answering
boys.
questions have
Hey,
been cleared
beautiful.
up. And also the father of Madeline, who is not a Florida resident, is he a part of this investigation or at least being asked questions?
We have interviewed, all those family members that are close. Mother has cooperated. She did give us an interview. So there's, no one is not cooperating other than Stearns.
We know that the crimes were committed in the home. We also have, the date of birth of the person, but we have not confirmed that is Madeline Soto. Would you be able to confirm that information for us?
Right. So all of the charges are with children under the age of 18, and they are protected. Their identity is protected.
It's live right now. We're live.
It's been a couple of weeks. Nobody's charged for the murder of Madeline. Nobody knows exactly what happened to Madeline. We can expect in the couple days someone.
The press conference is live right now. They just started.
When the detectives put their case together, like I said before, they want to ensure their investigation is tight. We're working, hand in hand with the state attorney's office to ensure, every piece of evidence is revealed and uncovered. So I can't put a timeline on when that might be.
And Chief, with his cell phone, there's one thing to understand here. So he originally went to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. At least that's what we understand. He gave his cell phone to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office then found something on his phone, which led to an arrest. In the arrest affidavit from Kissimmee PD, it says he offered his phone freely to Kissimmee PD. Can you kind of explain how that happened? Because I just have a tough time understanding how somebody who's been arrested for something on his phone freely gives a phone up to him.
Well, I don't know the intricate details of, I do know that the Orange County Sheriff's Office and Kissimmee Police Department were working hand in hand, during, the actual disappearance investigation. So I don't want to speak on exactly how that happened, but it's not uncommon for us to ask someone if they want to, give up their phone.
Chief, is there anything in particular that keeps you up at night regarding this case?
Well, a lot of things keep me up at night. My takeaway from this is talk to your children, families, talk to your kids. Know that there are agencies out there, the abuse hotline, Help Now, that people can report suspicion to. And I would encourage mothers and fathers to have those conversations with the kids and be aware.
Last question.
Had you guys investigated this family before?
Not for anything like this, no ma'am.
I'm sorry, can we just confirm how long that relationship was, the mother and the stepfather?
That is still being under investigation. We're trying to get the timeline for that.
Chief, I have one more question. This is a case that became really big out of nowhere for a lot of people, but what has the department learned through all of this so far?
Well, this was a very tragic event. I think that, like I said earlier, it's up to us, up to each family member to have those conversations with your kids and report any suspicion of abuse to your school resource officer, to an adult that's a trusted adult, to any police officer that's out there. So just report it and let the law enforcement community investigate. Okay. Thank you.
Look, he's tense. He even like, wait a minute. What's going on?
I'm baffled. I'm just baffled. That's my first. I just want to. I'm always upfront and honest with our audience. I'm baffled. No significant update today. No charges.
Nope.
Any charges, let alone murder charges, being filed in this case. The Kissimmee Police Department, on their own accord, deciding to call a press conference today.
Nothing.
And the press conference there was the anticipation from local media that this was going to be to announce an update, to announce new details, to give us an update on the progress of the investigation and what has transpired in the weeks since Madeline Soto's body was discovered and since Stearns was charged.
And they gave us nothing.
And then a follow-up 60 additional charges were filed against him related to
Which
the disturbing evidence on his phone. Here we are now, and we have this press conference from Chief Betty Holland, and Betty tells us very little. And I think I'm being kind when I say very, very little. Based on my notes, they're still waiting on the medical examiner's report.
Which is bullshit.
And when specific questions were asked in relation to Madeline's mother, Jennifer Soto, everyone close to Madeline is considered a suspect until otherwise, which basically tells us they haven't ruled out anything, but they're also not definitively stating anything that has transpired with the progress of their investigation.
Right.
I think it also has to be stated that when you, and perhaps this is something that people might not know about how law enforcement operates, for the most part, this proves to be true, that when a sheriff's office gives a case over to a local police department, the case can shift in pacing in this one respect, and that a county sheriff's office usually, more times than not, is going to have a larger investigative force and a more investigative resources than a local police department. So the investigation here might have slowed a bit when the Orange County Sheriff's Office transported this to the Kissimmee Police Department. I'm not saying that that's definitively happened, but I'm saying that that happens a lot.
That's exactly what happened.
Stories that we cover, and that's regardless of state, regardless of municipality, that more times than not, if a local police department is handling a investigation versus the county or even the state, the amount of resources are limited, and there isn't just as many man hours that they can assign to a particular case.
Wow.
With that said, if this press conference was to satisfy the demands of local reporters and local media, then a statement being put out or a tweet being put out of saying that we don't have much new information to share, likely would have had a similar, if not the same, impact, rather than a press conference where a lot of folks in our comment section were anticipating some kind of an update and then getting really no tangible, meaningful, significant update whatsoever. So, yeah, baffled is the word that comes to mind. I'm a bit baffled as to why this press conference was called, because quite literally a tweet or a press release saying, a 2-paragraph press release just stating, our investigators continue on this case. We are diligently pursuing justice for Madeline Soto. We await the medical examiner's report for autopsy results. All of these things could have been stated in a press release. So to call a press conference is out of the ordinary. Undoubtedly out of the ordinary. You could make the argument. That the only thing that this does is stoke the fires of social media even that much more, because people are going to look into this and say, okay,
hey, Marion,
certain people close to the story have been cooperating, but haven't been ruled out as a suspect. And that's just going to create even more social media chatter, rather than wait for a press conference to actually announce something tangible to give to local media and give to the public at large. And well, here we are.
Right. I agree with him. You're right.
We've had some surprising press conferences on stream in the past. This one is particularly surprising.
Hey, Della.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to increase slow mode on chat, because the chat is just, I think, sharing the same feeling as I am, that that there was a tremendous amount of
Head together we
surprise.
break.
Let's just start with one more time with Madeline Soto's mother. Again, hasn't been charged, hasn't been accused, and a reminder, is cooperating with this investigation, has given an interview, and by all accounts, including, you heard there, the question being asked about Madeline Soto's father, who's not in Florida. Apparently, everybody is cooperating with this investigation, with the exception of that man right there.
Just call you 2 Chainz. I can't even remember that girl.
While being held without bond in Central Florida.
Like the rapper 2 Chainz.
Hashtag HAB if you want to have your comment spotlighted on screen, or if you want to submit a
I
VIP
can't remember
comment
my
that
own
kinda
name
goes to a separate
sometimes. What the
queue on my
hell?
screen. You can, of course,
Hey, Papa.
go to www.hajb.live to
Yeah.
submit a comment there. But my goodness, yeah, the bottom of your screen tells it all. No murder charges filed yet in Madeline Soto's death. I mean, that was, I think that at the very least that people were expecting there to be at least progress on that front today. And the chief of police just standing there for 10 minutes and talking about their investigation. And you know, this we should state as well that the hard work and the due diligence of investigators and what they are doing to try to pursue justice of Madeline Soto, this doesn't detract from that in any way. It just, from a PR standpoint, it's a peculiar tactic to call a press conference for absolutely very little. I want to say absolutely nothing. I want to say very little. When it became
Just
apparent
call me
that
together. I like your New York accent.
There wasn't much new information.
And I might go remember that.
Released today.
Together.
I just see people leave.
All right, I got you.
There was, I think. Okay, well, this, you know, let me know when there actually
I got
is
you,
an
boo.
update that I can follow.
I can't remember my own name, sis. I'm trying to tell you. I mess up names all the time, girl. Trust me when I tell you. It's nothing on purpose either.
Lisa says that was a waste of time, money, and valuable resources. That's a VIP comment from one of our commenters going to hajb.live, and I'll try to spotlight as many of those as I can. Whoa, I see. I can't. There it is. Alicia, they use the word "those involved." Maybe they could. Maybe no. Based on this press conference, it is. They have not. Singular words. Be careful how much you read into that. It could just be the manner in which Chief Holland addresses these cases. It is widely believed that this is a story and an accusation, a series of accusations, if you will, that is focused on that man right there, Stephen Stearns. Let's see here. Holly. Hey, JB, I respect they need to keep their cards close. However, all they have done today is stoke speculation. Big fail on their part. This brings the story back into the forefront, back into the conversation. Yeah, I mean, now people are going to be talking, and you would hope that the narrative on social media, you would hope that it's as fact-based as possible, but you know how social media is. There's going to be rumor, gossip, speculation, and that rabbit hole can get really deep real fast.
Yeah, you're right. They gave us nothing, really. Not really. They gave us nothing.
Geraldine
we don't
says,
already know.
HAB, they're not going to release a lot of info. They won't jeopardize any trial process that is forthcoming. After Nicole's case, they will not jump the gun. I have zero doubt they will do a thorough and complete investigation to lock him away and hopefully go for the DP, which is death penalty. Geraldine on Facebook Live, by the way. you're unequivocally correct. They're of course they're not going to jeopardize the trial process, but it's still a curious decision to call a excuse me, a press conference
Hey,
to gather all local media.
Hey,
saying,
mamita.
we are going to announce the latest in our investigation.
Girl, they gave us
when
nothing.
In reality, there's so many different ways to update the public. Into the optics of today's sort of communication with law enforcement. When a press conference is called, it's for a reason.
Right.
There's other ways to basically say that things are ongoing and we hope to have an update for you soon. You could have put out a tweet.
Right.
You could have put out a press conference, a Facebook post. Look at Riley Strain right now.
Right, which is next.
That story, we're getting updates.
We're covering
on that
him
story
after this
exclusively through Twitter.
I just found out yesterday. So
been these these press conferences with all of these expectations mounted onto it, and them say, things are ongoing. It's just it's and again, I don't want this to be. I'm not trying to criticize the investigation in any way, shape, or form. I've known officers, I've known investigators, deputies over the years. I've gotten to know them, and the work that goes on behind the scenes. This is arduous work. Sometimes you are pouring through mountains of evidence. Mountains of evidence, and it can be extremely taxing. I'm not being critical of the investigation, not being critical of the Kissimmee Police Department. I am not. I just think it was a curious, baffling decision to call a press conference, just in general, not even for the Kissimmee Police Department, to call a press conference and
say
not
nothing.
Really have a center point of your conversation.
Right.
Like the announcement. You're calling a press conference without an announcement. You're calling a press conference just to basically stand there and say the investigation is ongoing and to take some questions. That's bizarre. That's frankly bizarre. Let's see here. Whoa, Charlie. #HJB. Maybe they called the conference for reasons unknown. Maybe there was a method to the madness. Also, big hello from Ireland. Hello. In Ireland. Thanks for joining us from across the way, Charlie. When with an active investigation, press conferences can be tactical. There can be a strategy behind them when they are trying to coerce. When they're not coerce. When they're trying to hopefully get public involvement. Sometimes press conferences are a tool that can be used by law enforcement to get the public interested in the case, to try to
right,
unearth
Katie.
the unknown,
right.
To try to get people to come forward, to try to get people to submit tips. But I didn't hear a lot of that language in this. I don't. You guys, I'm trying to remember if Chief Holland at any point stated, we need the public to come forward and submit new information. I didn't hear a lot of that language. That is so often a means for a local police department or a sheriff's office.
Hey, how are you?
To try to get new information, new leads, generate tips. But I didn't hear a whole lot of that.
Hey, none of your business.
April, with a great question. I'm glad that you asked this one, April. Hey JB, were the pictures on his phone exclusive of Madeline? There are redactions on the arrest affidavit. We know that there are 8 counts of sexual battery of a child under 12, another 5 counts of sexual battery with a child under 12 to 18. So there's clearly age ranges there. 7 counts of lewd molestation.
Hey, Evelyn.
There's
how are you, Mama?
We do not know who is in this
Well, they didn't give us
disturbing
nothing on this
evidence
press conference
that
shit.
investigators have detailed time and time again. In fact, that was the big thing that Chief Holland noted as far as the evidence, that it was disturbing, digital evidence that is disturbing. has been uncovered over the course of this investigation from Stearns' phone. Right. I mean, mac and cheese, hashtag HAB. She never came out and stated the mom is not a suspect. She ignored it. She didn't ignore it. She didn't ignore it. Mac and cheese. She said everyone close to Madeline is considered a suspect until otherwise. She's basically saying that this is an open investigation, that everyone close to Madeline is considered a suspect until we officially rule them out.
TikTok, I need to come over here to my YouTube platform.
And she wouldn't definitively look into the camera or look at any reporters and say that anyone's been ruled out. So that is what I'm talking about as far as social media now are going to re-engage the narrative,
comments,
the perception that Stearns is not solely responsible for what happened to Madeline Soto. And while that we really don't know what was going on behind closed doors in this household as Madeline Soto was allegedly enduring, just abuse at the people, at the hands of, man, I'm still a little bit surprised that we're not able to just look at something now and examine a fact with this. So often after we can say, okay, this is what we've learned. This is new. This carries the investigation forward. This carries the public discourse on this story forward. We don't really have that here. We don't have anything tangible for people to grasp. And when you don't have an actual update, all people are going to have otherwise is the potential to speculate.
I know.
So yeah, I'm still a little surprised that we're here not talking about something new that we have learned. Comments here. They're coming in really, really fast. Jessica says, could they be doing it and saying things we just don't understand? Reading in between the lines? Like, was there more to this that are we supposed to read the tea leaves and understand more as to what investigators are hinting at? That's not really something that law enforcement, they're very direct, usually to the point.
It says, congratulations, this live is longer than live videos made by 69% of creators.
Delivering,
okay,
puzzles for us to solve in the form of press conferences with
17 viewers on TikTok.
Language that we can't, that we have to have an effort to and put forth an effort to comprehend. Man.
18 views. Thank you, TikTok.
Right. No, he says we don't know who is in the arrest warrant, but she said they don't believe there were other victims, so we can deduce that it was Maddie. That's yes, and that's so that's again like connecting dots. That's what we are led to believe without it being definitively stated at this press conference. So Samantha from New Jersey. Hey JB, I just joined. Would you mind repeating what's going on? I'd be happy to. The Kissimmee Police Department called a press conference where there was an update anticipated in the Madeline Soto investigation, and there wasn't much of an update. Waiting on the medical examiner's report. Everyone is still a suspect. No new charges have been filed. No one has been ruled out as a suspect. Just a lot of general confusion in our chat over what could have been handled in a tweet or a press release. Right. So Rhonda, do you think that they use the press conference to make people that may be involved nervous or to bring people forward? I do think that there are tactics in other cases where a press conference can have a deliberate purpose. where investigators say, hey, look, in addition to getting out the latest information, this can be used, a press conference can be used to our advantage. But in this particular case, I didn't see anything that would lead us to believe that there was a secondary purpose to this other than releasing, information. And
I agree. I don't think they gave us anything.
I didn't
But
see
I do
anything of the
want to
sort,
say
Rob.
something when he's done.
That's just from
We
me.
got a few minutes because at 3 o'clock we got another live.
Right. People are Nick is saying maybe this was meant to spook others out of hiding. People are now wondering.
They could have.
This is
Yeah.
now delving into.
They could have just
exactly
had the conference with the family
when
at
you
this
don't
rate.
have facts to report.
Basically,
the
right?
absence of fact leads to speculation on social media. When you have facts, you discuss the facts. When you have a lack of facts, it becomes speculation. And here in this case, now people like Nick are wondering
if they
this is
have
meant
her
to spook
body,
others out of
why
hiding.
aren't they giving info
Everything
about
that we
the
have been
case? I'm
told
sure
in
they
regards
did
to the
forensic.
story is
Exactly.
that
That's what we want to know, girl.
The person who is the prime suspect in the case, that he is facing more than 60 charges related to some disturbing digital evidence on his phone, that this is the person who is responsible for really an extremely dark chapter in Madeline Soto's
Hold
life.
on, I'll be back.
But now people are going to wonder outside of the fact that we already knew because of this press conference where we were anticipating an update, anticipating a new set of facts, and we were sorely mistaken. We're going to be live for another 5-10 minutes. Okay, so here's something that is always possible. And Bulldog Hustle says #KJB. Maybe they were going to say something when the press conference was scheduled and then not allowed to say it last minute. We have seen this happen in the past. We have heard about this in the past where a press conference was called and then certain things happening behind the scenes prevents that press conference from either happening or changes the entire trajectory of that press conference. Not saying it's happening here, but Bulldog wondering aloud here, was there originally something that they were going to announce, and then perhaps could there have been a scenario where there was advice given to not divulge that information? I'm sure it's entirely possible, but we would be anything of this sort would be purely speculation unless we were told otherwise from sources speaking out from Kissimmee police. I can't bring the comment on screen because it doesn't have #KJB and it hasn't come in via W.
I believe they are holding out on info
I do want to address
because they're trying to
saying,
charge the
"Where's
mother
autopsy? Where's the
for
medical
more than
examiner's
just
report?
GoFundMe fraud."
What's taking so long?" That's no, in Florida.
They haven't said anything. That was just rumors.
Of course, being a reporter in Tampa,
that people were saying.
I know a lot about the inner workings of Florida law enforcement. I can tell you that we were not anticipating an autopsy result. We were not anticipating a medical examiner's report of any kind today. It takes significantly longer.
I believe it happened,
I know
though.
from talking to people in the state that it can take an extended period of time depending on how backlogged state resources are. Forensics is done usually at the state level in the state of Florida, and sometimes the backlog is short, sometimes the backlog is long. It can really vary. I have heard of delays going many months. We know from covering cases like Cassie Carley, there have been delays on the medical examiner's report, and no, it will likely be many more weeks, perhaps potentially a couple more months before we actually get a definitive autopsy, a medical examiner report. Now, sometimes what happens is if it's so blatantly obvious, if you have,
I know, but I believe it took place.
and
Yeah,
just
but
look, it's so
if you really
blatantly
think of
obvious
it, that
to
wasn't
readers,
fraud
a preliminary medical examiner's report or
because they
preliminary
announced that the money was
autopsy
for the
results can
family
be
also.
released I believe at the discretion of the law enforcement
See, they were
agency
slick
running that
when they put that
investigation, that
part
they
in.
can speak to that. But more times
Even
than
though
not, what we see
the
in
church
Florida is
paid.
you wait for the official medical examiner's report to
Yeah.
be completed, and then that point is then released. Steve, how long will he face jail time? I'm trying to remember. I think
For life, I hope.
my notes, but
hope he pays for life. Can he get the needle?
I did
Where
at
they
one
at?
point.
Do they do the death penalty?
Have
the needle?
An idea as to how long, if he was convicted on all counts, what a jail sentence would look, a prison sentence would look like. But oh no, yeah, here it is. If a majority or all counts lead to conviction, there is enough to be sentenced to life in prison. And then the death penalty is on the table.
Yes, good.
If he is accused, charged, and convicted in Madeline Soto's murder.
Yeah, they do it. It's on the table, Katie. The death penalty. But I want to say something. When they said something about those pictures, and that the mother knew,
and
I think she did.
Again, I'm sure that there are hardworking men and women at Kissimmee Police that are vigorously pursuing justice for Madeline and working around the clock on this case. I would imagine that at Kissimmee Police, this is top priority. It's just peculiar.
He's almost done.
I think people are agreeing with me, baffling
finished.
that a press conference was called without any tangible, real update. Last call for questions and comments. Want to point out anything happened in the last hour on Riley Strain? I've been trying to juggle multiple stories here as we do. Yeah, I know that I saw the tweet about that they don't believe it to be criminal in nature.
I didn't mean to say if she knew, if she was in the pictures with them. That's what I meant to say. Because someone asked that question.
We're waiting on updates on Riley Strain. I really hope that family gets answers. So, I mean, mind-boggling that he could just vanish like that. But
Child, it's 40 degrees out here, and I had the AC on. I'm bugging.
Vicky, why a press conference to say nothing? I don't know. Team Brittany says same update on Riley. Sad. Yeah.
Riley's dad. Same update on Riley. Sad. Oh.
Samantha says #KJB. I wonder if they haven't released the autopsy results because the suspect hasn't confessed yet, and maybe they want to see if he knows something.
I just found out about him.
No. I would normally point to this potentially being somewhere near the realm of possible. However, I have a hard time believing that any part of an autopsy process is toxicology. Toxicology takes a long time. You have to know what was in a victim's system. You have to. Toxicology is done. It is, of course, extremely. We talk about autopsies and toxicology taking place all the time, and sometimes toxicology can take much longer than the initial autopsy. understanding a cause of death and ruling on someone's cause of death with an actual autopsy doesn't take very long. It's an examination
Right.
of the remains
I didn't think it did.
by the medical examiner's office, and they file their initial report.
We're doing him
But
next.
then
Yeah.
you have to get the rest of the picture, and that's toxicology. You have to know what was in that person's system. And toxicology can sometimes really be a massive part of the puzzle with how somebody died. And so toxicology, because of the science and because in Florida it has to go to the state labs, and that can take an extended period of time. And I can almost guarantee you that toxicology isn't anywhere remotely close to finished.
Oh, wow. When that person in the audience, when the reporter asked them, is any of those pictures with the mother in it? And she said something to cop. It just made me wonder, was she in those pictures that they found? I wonder, was the mother in those pictures that they found? Because they're not saying much. And they gathering more evidence and more evidence against that mother. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. But then again, she couldn't have been in those pictures with them because she would be arrested. So no, I can't say that. No. She wasn't in those pictures because she would be arrested. Yeah, she would be arrested. They definitely would arrest her ass. So I don't know. I just had to think about that. But wait a minute, Brooklyn. She would be arrested if she was in those pictures. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But yeah. But she knows more. I believe she knows more. And I truly believe that she's probably been writing him or going to try. I believe she's still going to be with this man. But then again, people were saying that they were broken up. I have a picture that I found. Pisses me off. Of him and that little girl when she was a little girl. Let me see if I could. Oh, I didn't keep it's in the Canva thing. Damn. But you know what? I'm gonna fix it up and I'm gonna show y'all. And the look that she's giving him when she was a little girl, it made me so sad. You could tell that he was doing this to her since she was little. I found it today, and I was gonna make that as the thumbnail originally, and then I erased it because it looked it just didn't look good. Like the person did it, because I found it on Google search. That's why I usually find all my pictures at. You put the person's name and a bunch of stuff come up. And I couldn't fix some of the stuff because it would have cut his head off. Like it was just weird. So I just didn't make that as a thumbnail. But you could tell that the look in that little girl's eyes, it made me so sad. It's a picture of them smiling when she was little, like probably 4 or 5. And then there's another picture of them when he's looking at her and she looks like she looks sad. And it made me so sad. And I was going to put that as the thumbnail, but then I couldn't fix it. It just would have never worked out. But yeah. But it does make you wonder, Katie. You're right. It does definitely make you wonder. And Katie, why are you here? I thought you had that business to attend, young lady. Are you sure you're okay being here? Because I just want to make sure, you good. You know what I'm saying, mamita? I believe the mother knew what was going on. Come on, Debbie. Talk, Debbie. Talk that shit, Debbie. Talk that shit, Debbie. I believe the mother knew what was going on and let it happen and was involved in her unaliving. I believe that too, Debbie. That's right. I believe that too. Yes. They may have been broken up, but they lived together. They may not have wanted a label. Right. They probably didn't want the label to get the name. Like, we ain't together, but, you still living here. Because he probably didn't have nowhere else to go. And since he's so attracted to her daughter, where else where he's gonna go? And I have an old video of him on the internet with other little kids talking also. Okay? Yeah, we're going to play that one day also. But I have an update on Cody Bias also. We're going to do, oh my God, I have so many Patreons. Did y'all see the video that I did late last night? It's for my Patreon that pay and the Patreons that just following. So I did it for both of y'all. So y'all can get a look at what's coming. So if you're just following and you're not paying, it's okay. Go check out the tea. Okay? Go check out the tea. But that's crazy because that wasn't the TTT that I gave y'all on Patreon with Gypsy Rose. The TTT is coming tonight. Maybe tonight because I gotta wake up early for these maintenance people. But I do got y'all. But I did drop some Gypsy Rose on some other little tea. So just go check that out on Patreon. It's for people that's following me and that's paying. So both of you, each other, y'all could both see it. Oh, okay, baby. I just want to make sure my girl Katie good. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you stressed out. But let's end this. Let's continue to end. Let's see what else he got to say. He's not really saying much. He just, kicking it.
Even if there was no backlog,
we got to do a live at
state
3
level.
Riley,
4 to 6 weeks is standard.
I just found out about his case.
Her body was remained.
We're going to be following that. I'm going to need y'all to follow it with me.
The initial earliest window of 4 weeks. So yeah, people are like, wait, autopsy?
So let's end this.
Well, a medical examiner's report is comprised of the initial.
Let's end this live and let's go to the next one at 3:00, which is in a few minutes. So let me just go set that up and put the little thing. I already set it up, but you know how I do. I love y'all so much. Y'all just amazing. Y'all do. Y'all just amazing. I appreciate you too, boo. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. I appreciate all of y'all. I feel like I be so close to the thing. Like, I appreciate all of y'all. My hair is falling out, y'all. So bad. I was gonna call Katie and start crying yesterday. I swear, Katie, I'm not lying. Because as I was combing my hair, a bunch of it, clocks of it was coming out. I started to call you and show you, and I was just crying. I was like, okay, yeah. I said, Dave, look. It could be the psoriasis in my hair. I need my hair done. I want some braids in my hair or something. So I just combed it out. Because the other day I washed it, conditioned it, and put the ointments of the stuff that they gave me for the psoriasis. And when you see me with my little stuff on my head like this, like my little things like these on my head, that's because I had conditioned my hair that day and put the ointment, the medicine for the psoriasis. So I wear those for for overnight, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until I get a little dodo and get my hair done. I might go to the Dominicans or I don't know, but Dominicans make your hair grow. Them Africans make your hair fall out. Child, I'm telling you. No offense to the Africans. I love the way y'all do extensions, y'all braid, but y'all be edges, y'all be tight, and then you're thin before the now. But I do want some extensions. But the Dominicans, they make your hair grow. I learned that when I was a little girl in foster care because my hair was so long up to here. Like my hair was really long. Oh, why you didn't tell me? And we just talked. Katie. We just talked. You would let me vent all over you, but you won't say a goddamn thing. That's not cool. Don't do that. Oh, your skin. Your skin? Poor baby. Well, we need to talk about these things. The hell? Katie is such a good friend. Katie would let me sit and vent and cry and vent and talk and vent, but she will not. I don't know. Like, I need to know what's going on, boo boo. I mean, it's not like she don't tell me stuff, but she's such a good person, man. She's so loyal, and she's just a real good person, man. She's a real friend. She is a friend. You know, you got some people that you be like, they my associates. And then you got some people that you be like, no, they my friend. And I know Dave be like, why you be making, you don't know these people on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know them. But Katie's different. I don't never met Katie in my life on the real side, but I don't care. She's my friend. And we do need to meet up and hang out and do something. We could do a little girl trip. Just wait till I get my little, I'm gonna plan something for us. I want to do something with a few of y'all, if y'all like. You know what I mean? A meet and greet. A meet and greet. I think that would be really nice. I'm doing a visual meet and greet on my Facebook Live. For now, I had everybody vote the day. So far, the day is on a Saturday. Then I'm gonna do a time. I'm gonna do a meet and greet for that. But I actually want to do a meet and greet in real life. I know I'm not no big YouTuber and stuff like that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some loyal mother effers. Y'all rock with me, and I want to just chill with y'all and do something, and you know, I want to just chill, man. You know, just have a good time. So let me just see what's happening with what I'm waiting for, and then we're gonna get into where we gonna go and what we gonna do, and and where we gonna meet and what we gonna do. All right, so let me, Katie, know what I'm waiting for. So yeah, but we got a 3 o'clock live. Let's go. 3 o'clock live. Let's go.